Now entering Nerdist.com.
Jackie Cation, Laurie Kilmartin. Jackie Cation, Laurie Kilmartin. It's the Jackie and Laurie Show. The Jackie and Laurie Show. It's the Jackie and Laurie Show. The Jackie and Laurie Show.
Well, well, well.
Hoisted upon my own petard.
Somebody around a half hour late tonight.
Somebody at 10:02 decided to look at her computer, and all of a sudden a calendar reminder came up, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm supposed to be at Nerd Bell." I'm in my pajamas, by the way. I am in my pajamas.
We should always be doing these in our pajamas. Why do
not?
either of us get dressed?
Why? I'm wearing my bedtime bra. What? I don't have a
Your
bedtime
sleeping bra.
I wish I had a
Yay.
sleeping bra. So there you go. I have this to say about Comic of the Week, who was suggested by Kyle, watched, and I've heard of her, and she sounds great.
Yeah.
But one of the clips I watched of her online talked about the music coming up. That is a new thing. What song would you like to come up to? Do you ever care?
Oh.
What do you say?
No, I don't. I never participate in that decision. Just make it end as soon as my foot hits the fucking stage. Don't make me stand there while you torture
jam.
me with a song I've never heard of.
Well, that's it, too. And they're like, what song? So I tend to try to pick something weird, and I think I picked White America for a long time
What's
by
that?
Eminem.
Oh, okay.
And now I go by Rap God, which is a new Eminem song about how great he is. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I want.
All right.
Whatever, who cares, right?
Good for you.
Yep.
Well, we had first of all, I'm starting to love our podcast inappropriate conversations we have between podcasts where we talk about things we could never bring up here without
Yeah, that is kind of funny.
many layers of masking and disguise.
Right. Maybe we do a Hardwick like after Jackie and Laurie. You guys, it's the stuff we don't want to talk about.
And then after I talk to you, I don't know if you can see, but
What? Wait, did your mom punch you in the face?
no,
Oh, thank God.
but I deserved it. So I got the flu on Friday
that's
afternoon.
Right. You got the stomach flu.
I
called you.
I got my son's father gave it to my kid. My kid gave it to my mom, who almost
always
died
his
of it.
fault, isn't
yeah,
it?
it really is. And then one of the two of them gave it to me. So I was vomiting in my office at work.
Sure.
If I can brag, right into the garbage can, nothing but net. Like it was
You are not
perfect.
the mother of one for no reason. You know what a pain in the ass it is to clean that shit.
Yeah, gross. And then, so I went home a little early, and then
I should imagine.
we talked on the phone. Oh, I
talked on the
canceled
phone.
3 spots that night.
Well,
when
that's
do you
why
have
I
3
called.
spots in Los Angeles? Fucking never.
Right.
I'm like, I got it. This can't be happening to
That's
me.
why I called you.
I wonder if it was a
because-
Montreal audition or whatever, or a reminder of who
Yeah, because let me tell you something, Montreal.
They have a new guy booking it.
Oh,
because the old guy went to Netflix, Robbie.
right.
So there's a new guy who apparently doesn't know.
It's just
me.
a I am speechless at that statement, but it just, it's, I don't know. I mean, I get it. There are hoops that need to be jumped through.
They always
Okay.
like to see people laugh.
Yeah,
Whatever.
But I saw the post on Facebook. I'm still doing my 3 sets. And then you were like, I'm sick. I'm throwing up. And so I called and I was like, you aren't really. And you're like, no, I'm actually chained to my bed. I can't actually get up. So no, I'm not
I
doing
couldn't.
my
And then I
sets.
thought, since this was so contagious, I was probably contagious too. Even though I didn't feel good, there's part of you's like, well, I'll just, the adrenaline of the stage will carry me through.
Right, I won't shake hands with anyone.
Yes, yeah. And I didn't shake hands with my mom, but I still got sick. So then after I talked to you, I had to take my contacts out, and I stood up and I walked to the bathroom, and I felt really weak.
Yeah.
And then I went, whoa, and I sat on the toilet, and then I don't remember what happened, but I woke up face down in the bathtub. So I
took a header and you
I did
passed
take a
out.
header in the bathtub. I clunked.
People
onto the
died
tub.
from that.
I know. Fuck, man.
Holy shit.
First
Is the
of all, I
picture
don't
just
want
gonna
to
be
pee
your
in
eye,
a
like,
bathroom
spot?
for the rest of my life. I just want to go outdoors. I'm just going to piss in my front yard from now on.
Why don't you just take your contacts out outdoors? How about that? That
Yeah.
seems a little more.
Or I should get LASIK. But the point is
I'm getting LASIK. Because now's the time when I'm 50.
no, it's not. You know, do you
It
have that
isn't.
presbya, whatever, where you can't see?
I
Now
have an
you can't.
astigmatism. I
Yeah,
have a pretty bad
they can fix
astigmatism.
that.
Can they?
But that old age thing where you have to hold things far away to read them.
Yeah.
They can't fix that.
Oh, weird.
So you still need glasses.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pointless now. I mean, you can do a thing like with monovision. Like I have my contacts. One is corrected for that, and the other is corrected for distance, so
Yeah.
that it's always slightly blurry in the center, but I can see everything else. But
sounds
why am I
so
going to
safe.
pay some guy to? Have you? There's some Twitter account that shows medical procedures, like animations of procedures.
Yeah.
And they're like 15 seconds long. And I'm scrolling, and all of a sudden LASIK comes up, and they show you what they do to the eye, and I'm like, no, I can't
Right.
do it.
My
never.
sister got it done, and I wanted it when I was like 12 or 13. When it had just been invented.
Yeah.
Because I'm a Flintstone. But the, the idea of someone lasering my eye has always put me off.
And your eyes are open, and you're
Yeah.
not unconscious.
Right. You have to be conscious. You have to hold your eye open.
It's horrifying.
My sister said it took a heartbeat and it was over. And then, but it goes away eventually. Like Rontowski got it done too.
It goes away.
Yeah. It fades, I guess. The idea of it fades.
You know
or
what? Your
something.
eyes want to do what they want to do. They want to go back to their original state
Where's
of
that on a pillow?
nearsightedness.
Your eyes want to do what they want to do. So I wrote down a lot of notes. I wonder. Oh, Maria's doing a commencement speech. I just worked Phoenix and
Oh, yeah, how'd it
Tucson
go?
with her.
Yeah.
It was great. Somebody came up to me after Phoenix and said, because Maria's whole thing right now is, are you doing the genocide bit? And you doing the new political chunk? And I'm like, it's emotionally draining. And she's like, a comedy should be. Get up there. And
She's like a mean coach now.
well, it's pretty funny. But so somebody came up to me after Phoenix or Tucson, who cares, and said, I've seen you 3 times now, and twice for Maria and once just you headlining. And I think this political thing is going to be, that's your calling. It's going to be your niche. And I thought,
Oh.
and I said, I don't want to be a political comic. I don't think you understand. Because I don't. It just,
Yeah.
it's what I happen to be writing right now because the world's on fire.
Right.
But I want to write like weird, quirky jokes about, I don't know. I saw David Huntsberger do 15 minutes about space. It was hilarious. At one point I was like, is he still talking about going to Mars? Yes, he is.
He naturally interested in space?
Yeah, he's got a podcast called The Space Cave or
Well,
something.
that's on brand for him.
It's totally on brand. So, I mean, he had 15 minutes on space. I did that benefit in
That's like Eddie
Minneapolis.
Izzard that he does chunks that aren't related to his life whatsoever. you know?
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah.
I mean, you could go about it. It's a more surgical way to generate material is to go, all right, here's this topic and I'm just going to break it down.
David Huntsberger was actually about him going to space. He actually made it personal. So
That's good. That's the way to do it. That's
the way to do it.
Yeah.
Because you can take anything and if you make it personal.
Yeah.
Because everybody's talked about, whatever, hip hop or commercials or
My hip hop junk. God,
it's huge.
people are tired of it.
It's that you do an Amish rap. It was when, didn't you write it when Witness came out? That's when
You know what? You don't drop a good rap. Never.
there was a guy who had a Witness hip hop bit when Witness came out.
Oh my God.
It was a lot. It had a Kelly McGillis or McGinnis.
Yeah, McGillis.
It isn't McGillis, is it?
Yeah, it's Kelly McGillis.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but double L's.
Double L's. And it rhymed with that. It rhymed with Kelly McGillis. And we were all like, cut your hair. He's a perfectly nice man.
Is he still headlining?
I think, but just see rooms in Minneapolis. He's not listening.
We're all going there.
Who
Who books those?
books those? Oh, no kidding.
Hook me up.
It's
So someone saw you 3 times. Were
Yep.
you at first horrified to hear that someone had seen you 3 times?
no. No,
Because I'm like, oh, what jokes have you heard 3,000 times now?
I did have that problem in Peoria, and it was it's talk about it's a quality problem, obviously. When someone's leaning over and go, "Oh, I've heard this one. This is a good one." And you're like,
No, when
Yeah.
you're on stage?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I had to tell her to shut. I was like, "I'm alive. You have to shut the fuck up." And she was like, "No, I was just telling my boyfriend that I heard this one, and it's great."
Oh, so she's trying to be first. First, heard it.
Heard it first, and I was
I know
like,
you're gonna enjoy it in 2 seconds, but I've enjoyed it in front of you.
Yes, you did.
before
And if you could sit in the back and ruin his time, that'd
Yeah.
be great. Because don't ruin both of us. Because, but I did do this the night before last or whatever. Ophira Eisenberg was in town.
Oh yeah, you guys did your
And-
sound alike show.
Right, we did our vocal doppelganger sound alike show. Sound alike, I like it. But because nobody in LA has seen Ophira Eisenberg, she's great.
Oh, I
right?
guess she's more New York based.
Yeah,
yes?
she's
Oh, she's
entirely-
great. Hasn't she been a Comic of the Week for us?
She has.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but and we did this thing where we said the same thing and we made people close their eyes and guess who said it. They failed. Completely failed. It was awesome. And but so I decided we were doing 30s. And I decided to do 20 new minutes
Wow.
that I had never done before.
Never?
Yeah.
Good. How'd it
And-
go?
Oh, there's something there. Everybody said they liked the stories. So, I mean, it was obviously mostly story based with whatever punchlines I could pull out
Well,
of my.
she will also pull a story based crowd because she's on NPR.
Right.
So you got a crowd that wants to hear that stuff.
Yeah, and-
we'll tolerate something without a ton of punchlines.
Right. And there was clearly enough interest. There was enough interesting parts of the story.
Yeah.
And there were enough funny parts of the story to make it. And I wrote a couple of punchlines as I was working it. So there
Cool.
you go. It's
I did a new material show at the Comedy Store in the Belly Room.
oh yeah,
Nick Youssef and JF, I forget his last name, Harris. Maybe?
Harris.
Yeah,
Jeff
yeah.
Harris.
Do it. And so I worked some stuff that I'm still that is like I consider under construction.
Yep. Yeah.
But I might be doing it at Portland. I got to listen to what jokes I did last year, so I'm not
right, 'cause you were
repeating too
just
much.
yeah.
I mean, weren't you at Portland last year? Were you at
Nope.
Bridgetown?
Nope. 2 years ago.
Yeah, man.
But as we know, my album is 3 years worth of material. So I have some new stuff, but it's mostly
Yeah.
the political chunk. And we're going to Bridgetown this week.
Yeah, we are. Oh, that's right. This drops tomorrow
Yep.
morning, so we'll be in Portland on Saturday and Sunday.
Yep. I
Saturday.
get there Thursday.
Yeah.
I have a set Thursday, I have a set Friday, and 3 sets on Saturday.
Oh, cool.
Or 3. I'm doing a Dork Forest. I'm doing a Jackie and Laurie, and then
Yeah.
we're both doing sets.
Yeah, we're
Saturday,
doing a
right?
live Jackie and Laurie. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, you know what? Okay, so I was in Boston
Women in
whenever.
comedy.
Yeah, it was fun.
Good.
Brutal plane flights, both of them.
Right.
The red eye. Okay, I'm used to that JetBlue red eye. But,
Yeah.
First of all, I took it from LAX, which so the LAX JetBlue flight has the first class seats in it,
Mm-hmm.
so I had to walk past those and go, oh. Some people are
This
reclining.
could be done.
Like the Burbank JetBlue, everyone, you might have an even more seat. But you're still upright like an animal.
Is it called an even more?
Yeah, you get a couple extra inches. You get a few extra inches if you pay
Sure.
for it. But it doesn't
That's what he
really,
said.
it doesn't make, oh my
Jesus
God.
I'm very tired.
You're in your pajamas.
I'm
your
in my
defense.
pajamas. Kyle is not even paying attention. He's
No.
just like, was that a dick joke? It was fine. I've heard dick jokes. They're great.
So I get there and check in the Climpton Hotel. Climpton?
Yeah, Climpton with a K.
Nice.
Oh, yeah?
Very nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
they do a good pen. I have a couple of Climpton pens that
Oh, you
are
do?
quite nice.
I
Yes.
should have taken a pen.
Yeah, they're good.
Dang it. Anyway, I had fun shows. I had 2 shows. I had one with Marina Franklin.
Oh, she's great.
Yeah, and I hadn't seen her in a while. She was just so funny.
Yeah.
So funny. And then the last one, it was just 2 shows though, and I missed the time frame that they had a industry discussion.
Oh, right.
Because I
panelist.
was still asleep. I was like, I can't get out. If I'm
Right.
getting in at 7 a.m, I need.
You
I
need
my
another
full 8
5 hours
Yeah.
of sleep. Yeah.
So, and then the second show was like in a little tiny room, and it was fun. It was,
Yeah.
And then, but
Then you got on a plane after that?
my flight out on Sunday left at 9:30
AM?
p.m. So I get a late checkout, which is 1 p.m. So now I have 8 hours to kick around Boston.
Yeah.
So I left my suitcase and I just walked across the river, the Charles River, which I only know from the guy that shot his wife who was pregnant and blamed a black guy, the white guy who did it, right at the Charles River. Do you remember
I don't
that?
know.
Do you remember that couple? It's like one of the
No.
earlier Scott Peterson dudes.
We're entirely different people because the only reason I know the Charles River is from Spencer for Hire novels.
We are very different. We
Yes,
are.
we are.
So I walk. First of all, Marina and I did a like a podcast or a video, just a video actually.
Okay.
In Harvard. We went to Lowell House in Harvard, which is a dorm.
Yeah.
And her name was Balin, and it's like a women in comedy sketch group at Harvard. And so
good.
she just asked us questions on tape. But I was in Harvard, man. I was hanging out in Harvard. It was amazing. It's so beautiful.
It's a great campus. There's something about being on, and the older the college, the better.
Oh my God.
And
yeah.
that's one of the first, I think, here in the United States.
Yeah,
But,
it's almost 1637, so it's
it
almost
is the
400
first.
years old.
Yeah, then I think it is the first. And but there is sort of a vibe where you're like, man, I wish I could just sit around in coffee shops and talk about the big issues. But I could. That's what stand-up comedy allows me to do. I can spend every day sitting in a coffee shop discussing the big issues, which I tend to do with Augie Smith. It's
Well, I think that I get the feeling they're under a lot of pressure, these kids that go there. Like that, and then MIT was right next to that.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
across the river is Emerson and Boston College and a little bit of Tufts. I'm just walking
and
around, I'm
BU.
seeing 5,
Yeah.
maybe it was BU, not Boston College. I forget.
Right.
Whatever, but I'm just seeing like 5 major universities within a 25-minute walk. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, Massachusetts is full of institutions of higher learning. It's
Yeah.
pretty amazing.
But they also have a lot of dumb people.
Yeah. It's.
It's a stark contrast.
Did you ever play that Catch Rising Star in Princeton?
I did. Oh, and no, I actually did not play Princeton. No.
So it's not in Princeton. It's in a Hilton outside of Princeton.
Yeah.
And it's just a 4-wall inside the bar inside a Hilton. Right? And it's run by a woman who is just intravenously hooked up to like a martini. And so there's like
I like it already.
yeah, she was hilarious. The last time I did it was probably 10 years ago. And I love that room.
Yeah.
Because they were townies.
Yeah.
Because no way any of the college kids had cars.
Right.
So they couldn't even get out there.
Yeah.
And there was a shuttle that would take me into Princeton, and I would wander Princeton because you just feel like
Oh my
smarter.
God, sure.
Right?
Yeah.
But even the townies were smarter than, like, the townies in non-college towns are just townies.
Right.
Right? So there's something in the water, and it's a
Right.
good thing, not lead. And in Princeton, and it was
Okay.
it was a great gig, but it was such a dumb gig because she would come in with like these weird, like you're doing 52 minutes, or one year it was you can't look at your watch ever.
What?
You can't look at your, and I was like, well, someone should light me because
But joke 16G, I've written in a watch look.
I used to. Did you have a watch look?
Oh, totally,
Joke? I
yeah.
totally had a watch
Yeah.
joke. Yeah. And I was like, I have a joke where I tap my watch, and she's like, no, we've had somebody look at their watch. It was really unprofessional. There's a clock in the back of the room.
I don't
was
like
not
doing
lit up.
math on your fucking digital clock.
It wasn't digital.
Oh.
It wasn't lit up, and it was dumb. It was sitting above the kitchen, and it was it was just a round plastic clock from Target, and it was dark. I couldn't see what time it
pointless.
was. I ended up doing, I think, like an hour and a half, which is,
I don't think I've ever done an hour and a half.
well, no one should do an hour and a half.
Right.
Oh, I got a story on that.
Hold on, let me.
yeah.
I would, when I was middling.
Yeah.
I had a joke where I'd look at my watch and it should be right around 16:30. And
Yeah.
and if it was farther, I was like, yes. And if I was at 14, I was like, what the fuck? I gotta slow down.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Because mine was when I was headlining, and so I would try to do it like as close to like 38.
Yeah.
Because I had like 2 or 3 bits that were 7 or 8 minutes, and I when it, but you could go to it any time when you wondered how much time you had left.
Yeah.
It was you. I can only recommend you first of all, you wear a watch. A.
Yeah.
And B.
Yeah, don't look at your phone.
don't-
Jesus.
Oh my God, looking at your phone
That
just
should be
makes
hidden.
everyone. It makes everyone in the audience.
Want to look at their phone.
Yes. Yes. And maybe it makes everyone want to look at their watch, but no one's wearing them anymore. Just you. So you're good. Wear a watch. But it's a great excuse to check your time.
You're hitting your wrist. You're quite the hypocrite right now because you don't have a watch.
I don't have a watch. I'm wearing my pajamas.
It's clear because you forgot about our 10 o'clock podcast.
And I texted both of you today. I was like, 10 p.m., right? It's happening.
What
10
an
p.m.
asshole.
I know, it fell apart.
At least
It fell
I
apart.
genuinely forgot. You forgot after a confirmation text.
Oh my God, I have. So my sister signed up for this thing that's like TSA, but it's more than TSA. Have you heard of this? Clear.
No.
It's
It's a travel expedition sort of
yeah, it went bankrupt in 2003.
expedited. Sorry. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
it's a more expedited than TSA. Fingerprints and irises. And my sister said she was doing it, so I was like, and she said it was like $200 a year or $100 a year or something.
What airports use this?
21 airports, and LAX isn't one of them. But
course.
so I'm in Minneapolis, and she dropped me off at the airport after the benefit, and I get in the Sky Club, and they have a clear setup, and they said if you're diamond, you get it for free. And so I was like, oh, Darla did it, and Darla is like, she knows things.
Does she travel a lot?
She travels a fair amount, nothing
Yeah.
like we do, but I mean, so I go up and I sign it, and as I'm giving them my fingerprints and iris and just hitting agree like it's an internet thing, at the end of it, I say to the woman, wait, who owns Clear? Wait, is it a government thing? And she goes, well, Ken and Karen own it.
Ken and Karen.
I just gave my iris and my fingerprints to two people named Ken and Karen.
They sound nice though.
Don't
They really do.
They bought the bankrupt company in 2003. I think I just invested in like a privately owned prison. Something horrible just happened. I don't know. I'm like, what?
I just gave my DNA to Ancestry. 'Cause
Right,
I've got to figure it out.
I am set up to be set up for a murder rap now. Did you really do Ancestry?
Yeah, I just mailed, or I'm going to mail it in tomorrow.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you?
No, I did 23andMe, remember?
Oh, yeah.
But I want to do Ancestry and compare them
Yeah.
because...
Well, Ancestry doesn't give you any medical information. It just tells you where your cousins are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I want. Don't you want to know where your cousins
You know how I love family.
I know how you love the Irish. It's going to be great. So I've heard this from two different comics.
Yeah.
Two different women comics were there because there was a women only show, like one of the freak shows, right?
Yeah.
At the lab,
Okay.
at the Improv, and Chappelle dropped in, and he wanted to work in, and they're like, yeah, you can go up late, you can go at the end. We're almost at the end anyway, and so he went up at the end. He did 2.5 hours. Wow. He opened with a joke that he then did again 45 minutes later, and then he did it again a third time.
Thank God I'm not alone. I'm not alone.
What do you mean?
I think I might have done that once.
Not in a 3 hour. I mean,
No.
you didn't wait for the
That's-
audience to turn over to see how it would go.
That's comforting.
That's what he did. He essentially would do his 45 minutes and then
No.
work. Yeah, because the audience
Me,
turned
he didn't
over.
forget?
No.
Oh my God, I love it.
Yeah, he was
That's
like, I'm going to work
amazing.
on the set again.
Instead of running around to clubs,
Yep.
you stay there, you keep talking, and the audience has to turn over.
Yep.
Fuck yes. He's revolutionizing the business. I'm telling you, that's
Right.
the way to do it.
Here's what the joke was that he did 3 times.
Well, wait, should you?
Well, I don't know why. It was a weird joke about trans people.
Okay.
Okay, that's what I'll just say. I'll just
Okay.
say that it was a joke about trans people that did not go over well with the entirely predominantly women audience
Yeah.
of the first show.
Right.
As word spread that he was playing,
Okay.
people came in, and it did a little bit better the second time because both of these comics waited to the end. They saw the whole him do it 3 times, and by the third time, it was all his people,
Interesting.
and they loved it.
Huh.
Yeah, but it was essentially about how he was not transphobic while he told a joke that was weird
Right.
about not being willing to be around this trans person.
Huh.
And you're like, keep working on that joke. Find the place where you don't sound like a monster. But
Yeah.
I have a dozen jokes like that where you start out and you're like, no, I was a dick in this situation.
Yeah.
And then you got to tell it 4 times and you're like, oh, this is how I should have acted.
Yeah.
And then you retcon then you revisionist history Kissinger it, and then you never went into Laos. Right? Come on.
What's happening to you?
I'm really tired.
I got lost.
Well, I went to Vietnam for some reason.
I do think you went to Cambodia.
Well,
I think it's interesting
Yeah.
that he knew enough of the audience had turned over.
Yep.
So people left.
Yep.
People were tired and they left.
Yep.
And then he was like, "Let me start this over."
Yeah, because
So is that some of his 6-hour sets? Do you think
it's got to be. It's got to be. Which is a huge reveal.
That
and I
is
think you're right.
fascinating.
Because he is revolutionizing the gig.
Yeah.
Because he's like, you want to sit here for 6 hours and listen to me work on this 45 minutes 6 times? Go for it.
I would fucking love to, because how many you show up at a club, half the time you just want to work on one thing you're working on,
Yep.
and wouldn't you
And
love
you'd
to
love
just
to
do
work
it
on it
over?
again.
Wait, hold on, let me try one more time. I'm going to switch this thing up a little
Yep.
bit. Oh my god!
It would be amazing.
Wow,
Yeah. It was a trip. So
it's becoming more like music now, comedy in a way. I mean, how you could start a song over, right?
yeah, people start songs over all the time.
Yeah.
I have the hiccups now. It's weird. What do you want to talk about that weird thing that happened at Lyric Hyperion? The sexism? There was sexism.
Oh yeah.
Right. And Nikki Glazer posted it on Instagram.
Yeah.
Because it was her friend who had these two guys.
It was her friend that had that happen to her?
Had it happen to her.
Oh.
And her friend called her after her set. She'd done a set.
Yeah.
And then these two guys in the green room had said just horrible, and then later admitted it. To the theater owner.
Yeah, right.
And said, yeah, I did. I said, I wonder how she would taste.
Oh my god.
And you're like, it's so foul.
Oh my god.
And they didn't know each other. I don't know why that would be better.
But they
it'd
said
be
it
like,
to her, right?
They said it to each other, and she was in the room, and kind of to her. They were like, we were just talking about how you would taste.
Oh my god.
It's so gross. And then she called Nikki Glazer crying, at which point I wanted Nikki Glazer to tell me how her set went. But did the set go well? And did those fuckers ruin her set? Because that's what I mean, if you came off and had a great set,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden you had to deal with that,
Right, right.
that's going to ruin your set.
Probably.
Clearly.
Yeah.
If you had a bad set, you're like, oh, and now the night gets worse. But then Nikki posted this thing, essentially, because the woman, the comic, asked for the two dudes' names, and the two dudes were like, what are you going to call the cops? You going to narc on us? And then Nikki Glazer did.
Oh my god.
And then-
yeah, that was kind of amazing.
It was amazing. Because, I mean, genuinely, menfolk, I just want to say, just don't be horrible. Or...
You know, the guys that need to hear that don't listen to us talk.
That's true. They are not
They
listening
really
to this
don't.
podcast.
No.
But I mean, because I said a weird thing in the green room at that benefit
Yeah. In Minnesota.
in Minnesota to all the guys.
Yeah.
I said a weird sexual thing that I apologized for immediately because I saw horrified looks on their faces. I said a weird sexual thing out loud.
Yeah.
Because I was doing a show. And we were all doing 20s. Remember I was bitching about how flying for 3,000 miles just to do 12? Uh-huh. We were doing 20s. It was
Worth it
great.
now.
Totally
Yeah.
worth it. And Cy Amundsen had laryngitis, so I got to do 35 the night before.
Great.
It was pretty great.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I walk in. It's Cy Amundsen. Tommy Ryman is... Cy's got laryngitis, so he's got Tommy Ryman hosting.
Yeah.
And then it's Mike E. Winfield,
Yeah.
David Huntsberger, Sean Patton, Chad Daniels, and myself.
Great
And
show.
I think that's a great show, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm not intimidated, but I'm intimidated. I'm just kind of like, oh my God, these guys, who am I going to follow?
Oh,
What the
you're
fuck?
you're one of the slices of pie that makes it great.
Right. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, ended up, of course, being fine.
Yeah.
The set was fine. Everything was fine. But I walk in and I'm like, these guys are all so funny. I love hanging out with funny guys. And
Yeah.
look at all these guys. And it was raining. And Chad stood up to hug me. And I said, I'm wet. You didn't make me so.
Oh my god.
Which is so gross.
He's like a friend, an old friend.
The oldest friend.
What
and
are you doing?
I'm gross. That's what I am. I'm gross and foul. And so I saw the horrified looks of everyone, including Louis Lee. And I was like, I don't know what the hell is the matter with me. I am so sorry. But I apologized in the moment.
so not you.
It isn't me. I had a serious brain. I
Hilarious.
literally took a header into the bathtub. Is what happened. I am not the hero of that story. Buy my album.
Well, you know, like I saw Nikki tweet their names, and I was like, if I always feel like if I'm not there to, you know, I felt
sometimes I feel
uncomfortable. But then when I guess the theater owner said he talked to them, and I'm like, oh, that's two people verifying now.
Right. And the theater owner said that the guy admitted saying that stuff in the moment. And he, at the end of his post, said, so I told him that he wasn't welcome here anymore and to really fuck off.
Yeah.
And it was pretty great. But here's the thing about Nikki Glaser. I reposted it because it was Nikki.
Yeah.
And I've known Nikki since she must have been 20 when I met her.
Yeah, yeah.
We were roommates for Last Comic Standing.
Yeah.
And she was always a nice, like, sane kid.
Yep.
You know? I mean, there's something about Last Comic Standing that said, put Jackie with the prettiest blonde you can find, who's 12, and that has a future. And please put Jackie with her to then somehow be nice to. It was like, it's weird.
Yeah.
But so I met her, and I knew that she wasn't someone, she's not like that.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
Yeah, she's not there to escalate stuff.
Yeah.
So I totally, like, if you called me and told me a thing, or if someone called you and you posted that, I would believe both of those things without a question and just repost and get mad for you.
Yeah.
And for whoever
Thank you
believed in. Yep.
That's very comforting to know. Maybe I was too hesitant. I always, I'm always worried. I mean, it's just also, you know, when someone says someone said this thing on stage, it's like, okay,
maybe
I want to hear the whole, you know.
Yeah. What's the setup? Is there a tag that saves the joke?
To me, when there's the second tweet was a verification. Yeah. You know, and the person admitted it and stuff. So
right. I think we're at.
You think I'm a coward?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think so. I think that to err on the side of some caution is better. You know? I don't think, Can I have this water?
Yes.
Thank you. Hey, I think we're at 30 though. Yeah, do you want to do
We would have been at 60 if someone had been here on time.
Wow, right there.
I hold
That's
a grudge.
callback, you guys.
Comic of the week, Anna Valenzuela.
Anna Valenzuela, who is on fire at the roast battles, I hear. This is what I hear all the time, that she destroys at those Comedy Store roast battles.
That's great.
So find Anna Valenzuela.
Yeah, I just watched one of her videos on YouTube. It was really funny. Yeah. It was, there were really, it had personal stuff and it had jokes.
It had, like just set up punch, and it had personal.
Yeah.
It was nice. Anna Valenzuela, what is it?
Anna V is fun.
At Anna V is fun.
Letter V or VEE?
Letter V.
Okay. One A, two A's.
Two A-N.
Excuse me, two N's.
Anna, A-N-N-A, V,
Anna.
and then the word is fun. Wow, somebody else is tired. I'm so sorry I was half an hour late. So
I have a head injury. I just like that out there.
Oh my
right
God,
now.
could that be the picture? Just your eyeball.
Please go ahead.
It's I have this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I wanted to put this in. Do you know? I'm going to write her name, and I'm not trying to be. Okay, I'll tell you. This woman is a comedy writer. Do you know her?
I follow her
on Twitter.
Yeah,
she's very funny.
Yeah,
very funny writer. And
do you hear the? What are you going to say about her? No, it's
No. I don't think she does. She's not a stand-up. And I just I don't know. Every comedy person I know finds her on Twitter, and she's really funny. And the couple times we've had openings at Conan, I've been like, you should. Submit. Let me go through your feed and just fucking pick out some tweets.
Right. Pick out 5 minutes
kill at
worth
this. You should take my job.
Yeah.
And she's always sort of not been into it for reasons I didn't understand. And she posted a GoFundMe on
Twitter?
On GoFundMe, but on Facebook and Twitter and stuff. She I didn't want to use her name talking about her because I wouldn't. I don't know. I feel uncomfortable saying her name, but I think we can post a link to the GoFundMe in our comments.
Okay.
She a couple years ago was attacked. She was raped. It was a push in when she was going into her apartment.
Yeah.
She was not only raped, but she was also physically harmed in a way that she has to keep getting surgeries to correct what was done to her.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So she is just run out of money to get these surgeries.
Yeah.
And so there's a GoFundMe to help her cover it.
Yeah,
the
let's put
charges.
that in the notes.
Yeah.
Everybody
So-
send her $1,100 to $1,100.
I mean, you should
whatever can.
only know her name because she's funny.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, yeah. And we
uh,
will one day plug her as just funny.
Yeah. But find her in the notes, and she's a really good person, and suffered agoraphobia and
Yeah.
stuff that wouldn't make you want to come out and move to another city and do a writing job. Probably.
Probably.
It just made me. I mean, obviously it's horrible, and then you just think, well, here's a really funny, creative person who probably has a fucking great show in her head that
Yeah.
you would love if she was able to get it on TV or whatever, but because she has to grapple with this shit.
Yeah.
For however long she's going to, it's not happening.
She has to go through this nightmare
Yeah,
until
it's-
she can fix
It's
it.
it's just not fair, and it's
totally
I
not
hope I just hope she can get to a place where
Yeah.
it doesn't take up most of her day or whatever.
Yeah, or
You know what I
energy.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing. And so okay, yeah, I'll look her up. So the one time I almost had one of those push-in things.
Really?
Well, here's what happened. The first time I ever went to New York, my sister had a friend. It was probably, it had to be 1984.
Yeah.
So I go to New York. I'm staying in an apartment across the street from Morningside Park by Columbia.
Yeah.
In 1984, Morningside Park was
Scary, probably.
was horrible.
Yeah.
And in the apartment was a note from the woman whose apartment I was taking care of her cat. And the note said, "Don't go into Morningside Park. Don't even walk on that side of the street." Wow. So I'm coming back from doing sets and or looking for sets because I don't think I got any in '84. I was just looking.
You were like 19, right?
Yeah, I just started doing stand up,
Wow.
and so I was, partying a lot. So I was walking, and I got into the door of the apartment building, and then because I heard these running footsteps behind me,
Oh,
and I
my
get in the door and I
God.
close it, and there's a guy, and he's pounding on the door right in front of me. He's like, "They're chasing me! They're chasing me! Let me in!" And I looked at him. I was like, "Dude, I can't do it. You got to keep running. I'm sorry." And I've always felt really bad because I felt like a coward, but I also thought it was a trick to
Oh my
get
God,
in
yeah.
to beat me up and steal me and hurt me. So I feel bad, but I also feel like I did what I had to do. So it was
totally 100% on your
yeah,
side.
yeah. It's just a weird, but that's what that that story is
Jeez.
creep. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And luckily I was pretty sober that night because who knows what I would have done
Oh my God.
in the bag.
And now Morningside Park, you can't afford it.
Nobody can
You
afford it.
couldn't
It's,
even-
it's like
You
yeah,
can't
you
afford
can,
to walk in that park now.
Right now, there's a cover just to get into the park. It's super safe because it's
Yeah,
got
it's all
soldiers.
families
Yeah,
and-
it's
yeah.
completely. I have this story to tell. In
Okay.
Phoenix, my niece. Okay, no, I'm in Tucson. My brother lives in Tucson. My brother's driving me nuts these days.
Yeah.
He is just a fucking banana head. He's mean. It's hard to talk to him.
Right.
He's getting a divorce, and his daughter lives there, and so I didn't want to tell him I was coming, and so he's not listening. Neither he nor the people who need to apologize are listening. So but my niece knows I'm coming because I had to unfriend my oldest brother as well on Facebook. So he doesn't know I'm coming.
Yeah.
And his wife isn't talking to him and his kids aren't talking to him. So, but my niece is like, "Hey, can I get tickets?" And so I gave her 4 tickets to the Maria
Is
show.
your last name Cation, too?
Yeah. And so we get to Tucson. I'm only there for like 11 hours. And I'm like,
What's the venue you're at, by the way?
just some theater, the Rialto, I think it was called.
Wow, sounds nice.
It was pretty sweet. And so I get there, and Bethany texts me, my niece, and says, "Hey, I can't come. I couldn't get childcare." And my sister-in-law texts me and says, "Hey, I brought a friend." And so we're here. And then I'm like, no way is my oldest brother, the evangelist, come to see Maria Bamford. If it were Brian Regan, yes, he would like Brian Regan. Maria, it's not for him.
Yeah.
The set that I do before Maria isn't for him.
Yeah.
He's not going to enjoy any of it. It's just bananas. So I assume he's not there. So I'm like, I'm going to call him after my set. I'm
Plus,
willing
they're
to get
getting
up.
divorced. Why would they go see?
Why
you
would they
together?
come together?
Yeah.
Except for that I'm his sister and she has free tickets.
Yeah.
So it turns out he's there. He takes my call. I call him after my set because I'm like, I'll go to breakfast with him if he's willing to get up early. I call him. He's like, hey, I'm in the 4th row.
Oh my God! And Maria's
Watching-
on stage.
yeah.
Oh no!
And I said, and I'm hanging up, and I'll meet you in the foyer.
Oh,
and so I
man.
hung up on him, and then we meet, and I deal with that stressful situation by having a coffee milkshake in the middle of Maria Bamford's set.
Well, I'm glad you didn't know he was out there when you were on stage.
No, I know. I almost did a line about him too, but I didn't. But and he and my dad are big sticklers for how old my mom was. They both are like, "Mom was this or that," and I'm like, who cares? It's a joke.
Oh.
She's my dad told me that my mother was 31 when she died and
Yeah.
not 33, the age of Christ.
Oh.
And I said, well, her birth certificate says that she was 26 when I was born and she died when I was 7.
That's 33.
That's 33, and she might have been 34 just because I think whatever. It doesn't matter. The joke is she's 33.
Yeah.
So she might have been 34, but she certainly wasn't 31. And my dad, of course, whenever you tell him something that is wrong, he's like, well, whatever you want. And I was like, no, that's math, Dad. That's that one. You don't get to just give me that. Anyway.
I got a DM from a comedian who wanted to talk about traveling with the baby, like a female comic.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So I gave her this advice, which I used when I was traveling with my son when he was very tiny.
Yeah.
I used this service called Sitter City,
Yeah.
and they have
Different cities?
yeah, it's like they have sitters in every city. Just sign up, and people write reviews of them, and you can pick a 5-star person, and hopefully, and they barter with you on prices, and they come to your hotel and watch your kid while you do your set.
Awesome.
It costs a lot of money, but
It's not cheap, but if you want to do it,
yeah,
it can be done.
yeah, it's better
Wow.
than bringing the baby to the club. I think that's a way to get yourself not booked back because
I've held so many people's kids and dogs, and
guy comics.
I've held some guy comics while
Yeah.
their bros go up.
The guy comics themselves.
Yes.
I feel like
Fluffy
guys.
always brings his buddy. He needs someone to hold him.
I feel like the men are not penalized for bringing their kids, and I think that the women are.
I don't know.
But I might be
maybe.
wrong about
Maybe.
that.
Who knows? It's the thing is if you were penalized, you can't know if a guy was
I know.
penalized. It's weird.
I know.
Here's the weird thing. I told Cy Amundsen that I bitched about the benefit. At the benefit,
okay.
I said, "Hey, Cy, if you listen to the Jackie and Laurie show,
Does he?
I don't know. He didn't seem to. But I thought I should warn him that I mentioned him. And I said, so I just need you to know that I love this cause. I love this club. I'm more than willing to do it. I was just super tired. And he goes, podcast, you got to fill an hour. Who cares? And I was like, perfect. And then I told
Exactly.
him that I bitched about coming and maybe only getting to do 12.
Yeah.
And that I said I didn't want to come because the show was so amazing and they didn't need me, except for that I was the only woman. So, of course, he needed me.
Yeah.
And he goes, he didn't say anything. But a half an hour later, he comes back to me. He's like, you know what? It just occurred to me. This is a benefit for a children's. You are the only woman on this thing. And I said, yeah, you might
That
want
just occurred to him?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
When I mentioned it to him, it made him think. So I was like, yep, you might want to think about it when you're booking stuff. Because he just booked 5-6 funny comics,
Yeah.
you know? And it happened to be 5 dudes that he thought were really funny and me.
Yeah.
So
It's weird. I wonder what. I would have thought he specifically said, I have to make sure I have a woman and I have to.
Make sure
You
that-
never have to make sure you have a white guy.
nope. You never have to make sure unless it's a benefit for white guys. When's that GoFundMe going up?
They always seem to
Yeah.
get that demographic on stage.
Okay. Do you know Virginia Jones? Great comic,
Yes, yeah.
actually. So she said to me, "Are you guys ever going to have a male comic of the week, like a Sadie Hawkins week?" I was like, "That is an excellent idea. Maybe when we run out of women comics, which we never will." That made me laugh.
What time is it?
Well, we're close.
We're at
40?
43 minutes.
43?
43 is not bad. So we're
not
going to
close enough.
Bridgetown.
We're going to Bridgetown.
right? We're gonna do a live episode.
Back to Boston.
Yeah.
This hell flight. So
Yeah.
I think it was like 9:10 or 9:30. I get into LAX at like 12:43 in the morning.
Ah,
Right. And then I have to drive. I get to my car in the parking
Yeah.
area, drive back
Home.
to Burbank. And then I get in and it's like, I think it's 2 a.m. at that point. Just, the whole
Monday morning at 2
getting-
a.m.
Yeah. And then
No.
I go in and there's beep, beep. The battery for the carbon monoxide detector is out. And we don't have replacements. So if I don't get a replacement, it's just going to beep all night. So then I get back in the car, go to CVS, get a 9 volts, and fix it.
Wow. So
And-
now it's 3:15.
At least. And my son has been awake because he was the first one to get the flu. So he was vomiting all over the place. So my mom was awake because she was taking care. I come home and everyone's awake and vomiting and,
and
beep,
beeping.
beep. So then I was just dead for like 3 days. I
Yeah.
was ruined. And I the Birmingham festival we're doing,
Yeah.
the flight that I was put on,
Yep.
which I remembered after I got the flight details. I'm like, oh, that's right. I got to make my own flights.
Yeah, we got to book our own flights. I mean,
Because look, I understand. I would do whatever I had to save money.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. And but this flight was from Alabama. This is going back to
coming
LAX.
back, yeah.
To Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yep.
And then a layover for a while, and then across the country to LA. I got in around the same time that
Yeah.
I was like, I can't do this again. So I got on. Southwest has a 7 a.m. that gets me into LAX at 11 a.m.
direct from Birmingham?
Yeah. With
Oh,
like
I'm-
one little pop. Southwest,
Oh.
they stop. and
Yeah.
pick up people, but you don't have to switch planes.
Right. I'm on a Delta flight that stops very briefly in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And then just keeps going.
Yeah.
And so I do have to deplane and then
Yeah. You are going the
Regroup.
opposite way you need to go.
I know.
Nothing enrages me more than going in the wrong direction on a flight.
Sometimes going to Minneapolis, I had to fly to Atlanta first.
No.
It was so I was
Why
so
can't
full
you
of.
Salt Lake, right?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh.
They didn't have it. Whatever it is, it was annoying as all
Yeah.
hell.
But you
And
got more miles.
I did get more miles.
Yeah.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Who cares at this point? I'm just like, I'm trying to figure out what to do with them. I could give them to a soldier.
You won't.
Nope.
No, those are for your first class flights.
I'm going to see if I can.
When you retire from show business, you can
Yes.
gift the military.
Exactly. They can have, whenever I do see a soldier, I
Mm-hmm.
do offer them my first class flight.
Did they ever take you up
It's
on it?
only been one time that it ever happened. And then I was mad the whole time.
Of course.
I was like, guess who's not a
You're
saint?
my kind of patriot.
Yes, yes. Oh my God, I'm working on this. So one of the brand new chunks I did
Yeah.
in the 20 new minutes was I decided that I was going to talk about isms, right? Right. And because I leveled up in realizing my own racism
Yeah.
about 6 months ago. Like I unlocked a vault when I realized I wasn't treating somebody like a human because of their hue, the hue
Really?
of their skin. Yeah, I don't know what I can't remember the specifics, which is actually killing me, and it might kill the joke. But I remember because it was humiliating to realize.
Was it Trump?
It was Trump. I was treating him like he was not an orange person, and I was like, "What am I thinking?" And can you believe we're still alive? We lived, even though some people didn't. I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I think he and Kim Jong Un are actually going to become friends. He already complimented him, says he's a go-getter for taking over the
Yeah.
country at age 27. I think this might be our greatest relationship as a country.
yeah. Like Kim, whatever. What
Jong Un.
Jong Un? Like he wasn't handed that like Trump was handed $8 million.
Yeah.
It was exactly
There's
the
no-
same.
yeah,
They're the
I know.
same person.
I know.
They're just as dumb.
Yeah.
They're a couple of maroons, and I was
But so you're doing this
So
chunk.
this chunk, and it's going to be about racism, and it's going to be about patriotism.
Interesting.
And, yeah, because they're isms that I didn't think that I had,
Yeah.
but I clearly still have them. And I never really thought of myself as a patriot until someone wanted to wipe their ass with the Constitution. Then it turns out I am a patriot. And I actually had like this creepy revenge dream.
Wait, who wanted to wipe their ass with the Constitution?
Steve Bannon and Trump and all of the.
Oh, I thought you meant literally.
Oh no.
Okay.
No,
Okay,
no,
I gotcha.
Not at this time.
Yeah.
I'm not witnessing anybody's butt and
Yeah.
copies of the Constitution. Bernie Sanders' tiny book. No, it wasn't him. Who was walking around with it?
It was the Gold Star dad.
Oh, did he have it?
Yeah, when he
Okay.
spoke at the DNC.
Oh, he had it.
Yeah.
But didn't like that.
Khan, I think his name was.
Yeah, but I thought there was a lefty Democrat from Chicago or Colorado who carried it around with him. Some granola.
there probably is.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Some granola dude that didn't have a chance. And, but, yeah, so I was thinking about other isms. I can't think of, like, there's racism and patriotism, but I haven't been able to think about
Transcendentally.
transcendentalism. It's a nice twist. I like it.
Are you skipping sexism on purpose?
Oh, no. I never think about sexism.
Eroticism.
Oh, dick jokes.
Um,
I have a new dick joke that is such a mess
yeah.
that I can't get the words right. It sounds ridiculous, but
here's the thing: dick jokes tend to fix themselves.
that's
You
right
know,
here.
they come together at some point.
Right, just
you don't
keep
have to,
trying.
You don't have to work too
Right,
hard.
because the thing is I will go to them. If I was in Peoria and that woman was talking about my act, so I immediately did the brand new, unfinished sex joke that half worked.
Yeah.
But half didn't. And so I've tried it like 3 or 4 times. There's potential.
Anti-Semitism.
Oh, Semitism.
Is that ism?
That's an imism. There's a lot of isms. It's and just Americanism in general, which is
Exceptionalism.
Is
American
different than-
exceptionalism.
well, because Americanism is different than patriotism, right? I mean, because patriotism is a bigger word, but patriotism means that the things that you like about the country can be touted, can be talked about and be excited about. Where Americanism, you're just like, no, I'm just psyched because we're all here.
I think of I don't think of Americanism as a word that we use too often, but it does strike me as attracting dumber people than patriotism.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I think too, because it seems like a way to dumb down patriotism to some extent.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Because you're just like, well, that's ridiculous. Just pick a lane. So anyway, I'm working on that, and I'm working on. So that's vaguely political or socio-political, and then I'm working on some. I got a new family chunk, so it's not political at all. Yay!
Yay. Well,
thank God.
I have a new chunk about getting hit in the head.
Yeah. Well, you should. Oh my God. Who knew you did physical comedy?
I do tend to have to not do the thing where space, I'm going to write 15 minutes on it, where something has to happen to me or someone has to be in my life before I get jilted into.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like I need to be bothered by something before then I'm like, what the fuck? And then I try to write it away.
Right, you write it away, and then you've written a joke that's just okay, and then you keep working on that joke until you get it to rise above just, hey, that's dumb. Because
right.
hey, that's dumb is not a punchline.
Yeah.
Hey, that's dumb.
That's your feeling.
That's the feeling. That's the reason you're writing the joke.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you have to find a twist. You have to find a reason. You have to find something, some angle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I got a couple angles already. Believe
got-
me, I was writing in a fog, in a blurry concussion fog.
I bet. Oh man. So when you came to, was everyone around you or?
No, I went down and then like you know how a bathtub has a wall. I was just kind of my stomach was on the wall, so like my head was in the bathtub and my butt was in the air and my legs were behind me.
Man,
I know.
and nobody noticed.
My mom
that you
goes.
were-
My mom's like, "What's going on?" And that's when she nagged me out of death. Like I'm like, "Oh, get away from me!"
Finally,
I go, "I'm
there's a
fine.
reason.
I'm fine." And then I hauled up, and then I saw my head. I was like, "Oh my God!" It was just like immediately gigantic.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. Yeah. So the only other story I've got is Bamford is doing this commencement speech for the University of Minnesota.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
Yeah. And They emailed her and asked her to do it, and they said there was no money. And she was
That's
like,
going to be so much stress to do for no money.
"Well, my dad,
But
you know,
it's
my
worth
dad's
it.
advice: never say no without a number." And she said, "Oh, there's going to have to be some money."
Oh, good.
Yeah. And so she gave them a number, and it was a giant number, and
What?
and they gave her half of that.
Wow.
And my dad said, and I told my dad that because it's my dad's line, right? Never to say no without a number. And so she said the giant number. They came back with half of the giant number. And my dad goes, "Well, then did she say I'll split the difference with you?" And I told her that. And she goes, "I didn't have it in me for that. So I just took it." It's Kyle. So, yeah, it's a
Yeah.
lot of money. But she's going to talk. That's going to be the first story, as how much money they offered her.
That's great.
That's the story she's going to tell at the commencement speech.
That's great.
And so I emailed the guy from the local newspaper, and I was like, "You should go see what she does with that."
That's
it's
awesome.
gonna be. She read the speech to me a couple of times, and it's great.
How long is it?
It's about 12 to 15.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
God, that's a huge thing to write. That's
Yeah.
a lot of pressure.
Well, that's what it. That's
for
she was like.
free. Jesus, who needs that for free?
Yeah, it turns out they're paying the football coach. And it's not like she's a sitting governor.
Yeah.
I mean, if she were like an actual state senator,
Sure.
then yes, you are asked to speak. But when you are not in office anymore, those
Yeah.
people get paid to speak.
Yeah,
That's
true.
how that goes.
Obama just is getting 400 for a speech.
Right. I hope he buys land. What? I don't know. I'm sure he's fine. He's been making 400 a year, isn't he? Don't they make 250 or 300?
Something like that, yeah. But I think he and Michelle got 60 million for their memoirs
Oh, really?
combined. Yeah, they're good.
Good. I think it's all not check to check. I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
So we're going.
Plus, they have their presidential pension. They get a pension.
Right. I want a presidential pension. I'm going to get a presidential pension. Sound Exchange is great this month.
Oh, that's
kind of
I'm
amazing.
so excited. My CD is
Yeah.
coming out June 13th, I think. The CD of 45 jokes.
of the 45 jokes.
Just the jokes
in June.
Yeah, mid-June. Right.
Excellent.
I got Jess on the case.
Excellent.
She starts
PRing.
tomorrow, May 1st.
May 1st, you're going to
Yeah.
PR it up again?
Yeah.
Excellent. And what's up with the book?
Still doing rewrites resentfully. I was going to do more this weekend, but I, as you know, was injured.
Yes, you certainly were.
But
Yeah.
I forgot what I was going to say. I'm tired.
A bunch of local comics came out to see Maria, which is always cool.
That's cool.
There were 4 local comics, 4 or
Yeah.
5 local comics, and then
Did you guys have any local
class.
openers?
No.
Okay.
No, in Tucson, there were... No, neither one of them had openers. I just went out.
Yeah, because Gary Hood really kind of cultivated a little comedy scene there, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, he did a nice job.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I sent out avails today. I always send avails on Sundays
Okay.
because you don't want to send them obviously on Fridays because they're not going to read them. But if
Right.
you send them on Sundays, it means they'll read yours before they read Fridays.
Yeah, but you just told everybody.
That's okay. Nobody's listening. It's
You'll beat Cy Almondson for sure.
yes, Cy Amundsen. He's not sending out avails. He just, I assume he just gets work. But yeah, but between opening for the very successful and the guy who's booking some of my PA stuff, I don't have a lot of weeks open for the end of the year, which is neat.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty great. It's pretty great.
That's great.
So I'm just trying to make sure the money's steady and
Yeah.
then I just want to write new material and I would like the world to keep together.
Yeah.
That's what I'd like.
Well, I'm so excited your Sound Exchange is reflect it's because of your new CD.
No, it's not even the new CD yet.
Is it your name out there and so the other CDs are getting played?
Yep.
Interesting.
Because people are listening to Circus People. I want to call those people and go, it's really not
Circus
my...
People?
It's the first album. It's my first album. I was like,
okay. I thought that was a radio.
I was like, it's not my best work, you guys. I mean, as a narrative, it's not a bad place to start. But seriously, you might want to... You might want to skip to bread. So, but yeah, it was, yeah. So we'll do another one in what, at the end of the week? We're going to try to do, Kyle will not be at Bridgetown. Very sad. You got to work. You got 3 jobs now, don't you? Yeah. Plus your own podcast and plus you're trying to do sets.
Well, I don't know if I'll be working or not. We might go on strike tomorrow.
96%.
Well,
That's pretty
it was
awesome.
a huge authorization, and I can't. It's unfathomable to me that they're still holding out the studios. What the guild wants is so minimal compared to their profits. Like,
Yeah.
are you just trying to terrify us?
Probably.
You know,
They're just holding their breath.
a friend of mine thinks it'll be like a 2-week strike, and then because
Okay.
upfronts are coming up soon, and they'll lose millions in advertising dollars if they can't say, "Hey, we're going to have these shows on the air." It just doesn't make any sense why you wouldn't
Right.
cave in, except you just don't want to cave into writers because fuck those guys.
Yep. That sounds actually like
Yeah.
that's what's sewn on their pillows. Yeah, that does not sound like a thing that isn't. I think we're close.
Where are we?
59:42.
It's so beautiful.
We can eat 15 more seconds,
Yeah.
right? What if the waitress had to just drop a check on 2 more tables, right?
That's-
You would keep going, right?
You'd keep going.
You say, "What do you do for a living? Where are you?"
Yes. Hey, Kyle, what do you do for a living? Podcasting and writing.
It's a living. What?
No, but-
Where do you live? Under a bridge?
Kind of.
I was
He's stacked like cordwood
Wait.
with other dudes.
All right, we're done, right?
Yeah.
Bye.
Thanks a lot.
Now leaving Nerdist.com.